we're going to look at potting a bare root rose, and I think the procedure and considerations for a potted rose is a little different from a rose in the ground. So the first step is selecting the proper pot, and I'm going to show you two pots that I have. The one on the right is a 12-gallon just black plastic nursery pot. The one on the right is what I call the rose grower special, because many of my rose growing friends have all come up with this pot is ideal. And to me, what makes an ideal pot: one, I prefer them lightweight; two, they should be at least the size of the one on the left, which is 12 gallons. The one on the right is 22 gallons. And 12 gallons is going to hold a rose for maybe 2 years, whereas 22 gallons might hold a rose 4 or 5 years. You could possibly, have a rose permanently in a pot like this. So another thing to consider is you want the rim of the pot to be the widest part. So you can see here we have almost straight edges, and here the pot bows out. What you don't want is one of those bowl-shaped pots that's wider in the middle, because that makes air transfer difficult, and it makes replanting difficult. You want the rim to be the widest part. So today I'm going to use the 12-gallon pot. Since I don't know the final home of this rose, I'd like to see how it grows. This is the 12-gallon, and I've got it maybe 75% full of potting soil, and I do suggest you use a soil mix specifically for pots. They are lighter and better draining, and that's what you need in a pot. Put about a handful of Osmocote in my pot, and I prefer either, at this point, you don't add any fertilizer, or if you do add a fertilizer, use a slow release granular fertilizer. What we don't want, you can put a little organic fertilizer, but organic fertilizers tend not to be processed as efficiently in pots. And do not use a fast-acting granular fertilizer, because it's too much all at once in a small pot. It's going to likely burn the roots. So slow release granular fertilizer, and just mix it up real well in the top half of your pot. So now I've got my plant situated in the pot, and I'm going to put it level so you can see that when I plant it, the bud union, which is this guy, is going to be a couple of inches above the pot. I plant it high just so that I can maximize the volume of the pot for the roots. If you live in a cold climate, you're going to need to bury that bud union, perhaps at least bud union level to the soil, or bud union below the soil. So I've got my plant planted, and I firmed down the soil around it, and this is about the level that it is, a couple of inches above the bud union. There's maybe an inch or two left in the pot, and one thing I advocate is that you shorten the length of the canes. You want there to be a lot of root relative to the canes, because this plant is not established. It doesn't have its feeder roots, and you'll help it along if it has less upper cane to support. So I want the canes to only be about 6 inches, 6 to 7 inches when I'm done. And these are more like maybe 11, 12 inches. So I'm going to find an outward facing bud like this, and right here, can't get it in the sun, right here, and I'm just going to snip it. So this is the resulting plant now. The canes are maybe only about 6 inches long, and on the side you can see everything I snipped off. Make sure to either snip off or remove any signage as well, because that signage is going to constrict the growth and also going to rot the cane if it's not removed. So now what I've done is I've taken maybe like a 2 or 3 gallon plastic pot and I've cut it in half. You see, it's just the collar that used to be a plastic pot, and I want to pile soil over the bud union. You can use whatever for this collar. You could use a peat pot, you could use a small cardboard box, anything you have on hand. This is just a temporary thing we're doing, and I've put soil in this collar to above the bud union so that I can insulate it. Preventing desiccation is job number one for a bare root, so I do recommend you do this. And we are all set. I'll give it a water, and after the leaves grow out, I will cut out this collar, even out the soil, maybe apply an inch or two of mulch to help insulate the pot. Thanks for watching. Bye.